All right, we are back. The players have taken a short walk to get their nerves worked out, and we are ready to jump on into game number 2. And looks like Winter's saying he's going to make 100 spores in this next game.
All right, we'll
At
see
least.
if that happens. I don't think he wants to lose the air toss again.
No.
I was told that there was some interesting banter as the two of them were walking to the bathroom together about how DesRow was saying that he was going to be sending Winter to the losers bracket to spend some time with Spider Slayer, and so Winter just shaking his head.
No, he did say that he was going to take this out in 3 games, so very confident. We'll see what he decides to pull out here in game number 2 on Nimbus. We actually get to see some different maps because we're playing more games in a series, given that this is a best of 5.
That's right.
Seems like the maps we've been seeing in these best of 3s have been fairly consistent. We haven't had a map on Nimbus here in a while, so excited to see the game room here. If you saw on the in-game camera, in-room camera here, as we've been getting more and more people coming back into the game room as they've awakened from their slumber here of a late night of doing anime con things.
Oh yeah, I mean the rave on Saturday night goes well into the AM.
Yep.
So I'm sure that a lot of people are still sleeping.
Us old guys were in bed by about 10 o'clock, I think.
Not everybody's here for fun.
Yeah.
Some of us have to work.
Yeah. Going into game number 2, though, it is the important thing on Nimbus in the lower left-hand corner. It is going to be the orange Protoss. His name is DesRow. And I see Bubba Raleigh stayed in just long enough to say #AliveGame.
In the bottom right-hand corner, trying to come back from that 1-game deficit, it is Winter.
You know, even if you look, at least they call it the winter bracket, so you got that going for you. Oh, these guys. These guys. We've definitely had some really awesome banter back and forth between our players. Definitely yesterday got to interview them a couple times and get their thoughts. As you can see, both of them feel very confident. DesRow here taking a pause. Someone has... Oh. Don't want that. Got to be DesRow saying one of the settings is changed where you can't select enemy units. I honestly don't even know why that setting is in the game.
Yeah.
Why would you not want to be able to select the enemy units? Winter now in game saying, why do you need to select enemy units when you can use Void Ray?
Wasted AP.
All
right. Looks like they are ready to get back in there.
And now you get to see all of that here as we are. Oh, we got to get the game thing set up. So DesRow is going to be up 1-0 in this best of 5 as we pull up the production tab on the Epic GameHeart interface. It's actually better
really
and better over time. So much of the real estate of the screen is clear these days. You can see, I remember the old days of StarCraft Wings of Liberty when you actually casted with the normal in-game interface, had to make these ridiculous overlays to not make it look silly. But so much real estate on the screen these days. Big heart to all the folks at GameHeart for making broadcasting esports awesome.
That's right. So DesRow does have that scout in Winter's base. Is going to try and force some mining displacement there.
That is definitely a good sink of APM early in the game to be able to keep your hands warm, keep yourself busy. Speaking of warm, it did get pretty warm in this room at the end of the day, and you know, it's no fun to play StarCraft when you're sitting there in your chair sweating. So all the players must be a lot more comfortable today, now that there's not quite as many people in here.
That's right. So the probe is trying to deny the hatchery going down over here on the left, but Winter has already put one down on the right as well. So we'll see if he decides to go with another one. Looks like he's just going to go back to mining with that drone for now, as he doesn't have the minerals to put down a third if he intended to.
Kind of looking to see if on these larger maps, if any of these players would go ahead and try to sneak in the hidden base. We saw that be effective earlier in the weekend, but not such going on so far. DesRow just doing his normal thing, kind of walling off his ramp here. These are some interesting ramps with the destructible debris. You can wall them off a little bit easier earlier in the game, and then as they get taken down, it opens up another attack path. Winter, again, does have pool with no gas, so we're just going to be getting those defensive queens and drones here, not too aggressive early in the game. I'm actually not even sure that... Okay, Winter has confirmed with the Overlord that DesRow is here on the lower left, so he does know the position of his opponent, as the... looks like a gateway and a cannon going down, as well as his natural expansion is about to finish up. That is kind of a cool thing on this map that you do sort of have this basically in-base natural.
So Winter has been scouting around in his base to make sure that probe is well flushed out and is not finding it. Is taking that third base now and sending Ling over to the front of DesRow's base. DesRow does have a probe that's in the very north part of the map, just kind of hanging out there. Not really doing a whole lot just yet, but we have seen DesRow do some hidden tech before, and we may see it again.
Yeah, yesterday we saw him do some hidden DTs, but we will see if we see that come out again. He does like to do, as he mentioned in the earlier pre-game interview, he does some sneaky builds up his sleeve. So I definitely expect to see different things out of him each game, just purely based on that. But you know, some of these maps really lend to sort of different styles of openings as well, given that this is sort of different, having that in-base natural. You don't set it up quite the same way as you do King Sejong Station, for example, like we saw last game. Which sort of lends to different strengths and weaknesses as far as the opening and different things you can do. But Winter with 3 bases here, all the queens in the world.
Yeah, he's getting up to 4 now.
Yeah.
Starting to spread that creep.
His third base is now just finishing in, you know, the positions by ground aren't all that far away, so there would definitely be strength here in Winter getting that creep spread across over to DesRow's base. If he plans on going the ground route here. He did start a Spire last game, didn't really get to get any of the Mutalisks out, as DesRow did have some Void Rays on the field, so that was kind of what sealed the grave for him there. He's going to be sneaking an Overlord in to the, oh, what's going on here? Oh, Stalker is sneaking the Overlords to death.
So the Twilight Council is finished in DesRow's base. And he is researching Blink. That probe in the top is just still kind of hanging out there, no pylon or anything. So I don't think that we're going to be seeing any hidden dark shrines up there just yet.
Yeah, he still does have it at his disposal, and maybe just in case that if Winter decides to expand northward on the map, away from danger, then he can have a pylon up there eventually. But it looks like so far Winter is starting to prove on his promise here, as he does make 3 Spore Crawlers, only 97 more to go.
Yeah, he doesn't want to let those Phoenix back in, though. He wants to be able to keep Queens around, but he's not going to be facing the Phoenix this time. So
the other thing that was a big strength for DesRow last game was his upgrade advantage. He had +2/+2, while Winter had 1/1. And he's already started his +1 attack here, and will probably be putting down another Forge at some point to start the double upgrades. Completely walling off his area here, as he does have that 1 Stalker outside, along with the probe, and Blink is going to be wrapping up here in a few seconds. Stalker's walking right past that Zergling, as it must have been on hold position.
Oh, wow. DesRow is now adding on a lot of gateways. He put 6 in production. Some are just finishing up now, another 3 more to finish up, and they are immediately opening up. It looks like DesRow is getting ready to be very aggressive.
Yeah, absolutely. Multiple pylons here going down from the north, starting farther away and working his way closer, so that if one gets seen, he still has a secondary option. Mothership Core and 2 Stalkers working their way across, and is starting to try and clear out some of those creep tumors going down. So Winter does know that he is on his way in. Stalkers meeting up with the Mothership Core and probe here, continuing to advance. That pylon addition Overlord here going to come across and see what's going on here any second.
And Lings are moving forward. They do see that there are a lot of Stalkers there, and so now the Stalkers are on creep. They're going to be making their way into the third base. Lings are in production, and the drones are being pulled along with the Queen, so this base is just basically going to be going down.
DesRow's +1 attack is completed, and Winter just started his +1/+1, so this is going to be +1 Stalkers against 0/0 Slowlings at the moment. A few more seconds here before speed finishes up, so certainly an advantage for DesRow to be pushing right now.
That's right, and Roach Warren just did finish 20 more Lings in production, so we won't be, he just used all of his larvae to make Lings pretty much, so we won't be seeing any Roaches anytime soon.
Metabolic boost is 5 seconds away here at this point. The Stalkers do have blinks, so they can kind of go up the ramp here to get an exit out, but as speed finishes up, Stalker's going to be clumping up back at the ramp to try and get in a good position here. Drones mineral walking through the Stalkers. Good trick there by Winter to be able to get some extra damage on those Stalkers, mineral walking them right through.
Yep, but those Stalkers were able to blink to the low ground, and so that contain has dissipated quite quickly. Now Zealot's being warped in instead, and those Zerglings are trying to take down these pylons to prevent more warp-ins while the Stalkers are taking down that third base.
Yeah, there are a nice chain of pylons here for DesRow, so even if these two do get taken out, he can still warp in from the back. And it looks like Winter is not going to go up there to see those, so he is still able to continue this pressure and be able to warp in units from the back. The Lings from Winter are still kind of hanging around out there, allowing DesRow to get in and get a little bit done. If he can kill these Evo chambers here.
He's holding his Zealots on the ramp here, so now the Lings can't get back into the main base without going through those Zealots, and they are getting lots of kills while that's going on. Drones are being pulled into the Stalkers. Stalkers are just having their heyday, and we don't see, yeah, there's the blink going back a little bit. The Zealots are just manhandling these Lings on the ramp. Those are done, and Winter GG's.
So 2 fairly quick games there by DesRow, but I mean DesRow really showing his micro ability and his game sense. I mean just the ability to for Winter, he left those Lings out there a little bit too long, and DesRow's like, you know what, half your army is outside. I'm just gonna park these guys right here, and you can't get in. And that 1-1 still hadn't finished yet, and it wasn't really that big of a deal because he was able to trap a lot of his army outside, but. You know, he really also prevented the roaches from being produced due to the fact that he just had to use all his larvae for Lings.
Yeah, and it was a really neat timing, too, because the Roach Warren was not yet finished when he moved in, so Winter really was forced into those Lings. He was trying to get more damage done, and Winter did try and kind of do a swing by into the main base of DesRow, but DesRow had put 2 pylons and completely plugged his wall, so it was completely done. There was a cannon there as well, so he was going to have a long fight trying to get into there, and then by that time, warps would be cooled down. He would have been able to warp into his base to try and defend that as well.
Yeah, you know, I think that what Winter, you know, Winter's kind of got this 3-base thing going on the last 2 games, and I think that's really kind of bit him in the back a little bit because DesRow's just been ultra aggressive from the get-go, both games, and Winter really hasn't had the units to be able to defend that super easily as DesRow starts pushing in there with his various tactics.
I will say, though, that Winter is handling himself very well when he's under pressure. He's able to do that really neat drone mineral walk to try and get around the Stalkers, and that would have done a lot of damage had the Stalkers not been able to blink out of there. So he's definitely got some tricks up his sleeve as well, and I wouldn't count Winter out of this by any stretch of the imagination at this point.
Absolutely not. That's why we have a best of 5. This could go as long as 5 games, but currently it's a score of 2-0. DesRow versus Winter going into game number 3 here in a few moments. We're going to take a quick break, and we'll be right back.
Stay tuned.